So from the top we have Vili Vilhunen says, not necessarily your specialization, but what are your thoughts on UFO disclosure? Do you think aliens are already here, or do we live in a vast empty space and in all probability we are alone right now? The UFO phenomenon is fascinating. I don't know if we're alone or not in terms of are they visiting. I very much doubt we're alone in the universe. To use an analogy though, it might be a case of, to say that aliens are here, it might be a case of, it's a bit like saying a goldfish in the United Kingdom can somehow get to a pond in Russia. You know what I mean? That's just never going to happen. That gives you kind of an indication of the distances. Now, who knows, maybe there is some wormhole technology or something that we don't know anything about that allows interstellar travel. Who knows? But the UFO phenomenon is fascinating because I really do think something is going on. Of course, it's an area that is fraught with attention seekers and liars, but there's also some very impressive evidence, if I can use the word evidence. The things that impress me the most are testimony from pilots, astronauts, military personnel, those kinds of people. And there's a number of documentaries out there that bring this sort of testimony together, and these are the sort of people who have more to lose than to gain by coming up with a story about flying saucers. You know what I mean? Yeah, some average Joe on the street wants his 15 minutes of fame so he concocts a story about an alien abduction. Yeah, that makes sense. But you work in a government job, you're a military officer, you're not doing yourself any favours if you start talking about weird aerial phenomena and stuff like that. But they do. And more so these days than in the past. I remember when I was a kid I collected a big series of books called The Unexplained by Orbis Publishing. It was this sort of thing, you bought an issue of the magazine every week and eventually you put them together in these binders that you could buy, so it became like a big Encyclopedia Britannica type thing of the unexplained. Loved those. But back in the 80s, I mean, there wasn't the same kind of disclosure that there is now from high-ranking people. It definitely deserves to be listened to. There's a couple of documentaries. One is called Out of the Blue. I think it's on Amazon Prime, at least it was when I watched it. And there's a similar one. Oh, what's the name of it? It escapes me now. I did watch one recently there on Netflix called Unacknowledged, which was also good. They're easy enough to find and they are worth watching. So that kind of testimony impresses me. The second thing that impresses me are the big cases where something was in the sky and it was photographed from multiple angles by multiple witnesses. That means there's no doubt something really was in the sky, something unusual. It can't be like somebody throwing a car hubcap into the air and snapping a picture. You know, it really was there. The Phoenix Lights is a prime example. What were the Phoenix Lights? You know, the standard explanation of flares doesn't hold because these things were traveling in formation. This big thing in a big V formation. It's absolutely fascinating. Something's definitely going on.